Hey guys, it's been a few days since I posted, but tonight I want to cover some atheist objections. Let's deal. I deal with it before. Biblical slavery. This is so okay. Biblical slavery. The atheists think they destroyed Christianity, but their objections are so stupid. Owen Law thinks he's smart, but if I were in debate with him, let's see if he could really answer me. We are just battling philosophy. He sees something, like for example, many people, for example, a bull. This is like an analogy. A bull, when he sees red, he gets angry, right? When we see red, we just see its color. See, the idea, the concept of there being a color red is knowledge, but how you act to it, your perception, how you view it, is philosophy. Now, the atheist, when they see history and fossils, they see they'll put that the fossils is a knowledge. Philosophy when they add evolution on it. The philosophy for me would be like when I add creationism. I never use creationism. I'm using when I add creation on it. We're just battling philosophy. Now, the difference is I can more prove my point philosophically than I can and logically and back up my conclusion, but all they can make is conclusions and assertions. We don't have to go Kent Hovind. We don't have to go rounds like that. I don't have to do that. And if he doesn't get it, like scholar fiction, if these atheists don't get it, then it's not my fault. But evolution is just a understanding of knowledge. For example, we have fossils as a fact. You take the criteria of how the fossils are laid out, what you call the index fossils, and you say that's proof of evolution. I consider that's proof of a flood. There's two conflicting philosophies of that, two conflicting understandings, perceptions. Now when you say, well, if you say it's just a philosophy, how can you put, one of us is big in the question, let's see which one it is. One of us, if I just name an understanding, I would be committing a fallacy. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to back up my claim, my philosophy. I'm going to say if from a philosophical standpoint, from a logical, mental standpoint, all right, if the evolutionary worldview was true, we are all, according to the origin of the species, evolution would just we're just purpose to evolve the processes to procreate and to survive. It's not to evolve the standard for absolute truth or morality. That's just a fact. You can assert that, but your morality, as you see atheists claim, is subjective. It's not objective. It's something you can just state by opinion. And so, and you're just chemicals. Your chemicals in your randomly evolved brain doesn't produce, even scientifically, there's not one chemical that produces the criteria to have absolute 100% knowledge. There's not one chemical. Go ask your science teacher. I did. So there's not one chemical scientifically, and you don't got the philosophical. Plus, let's add on to that, you have what's called evolutionary determinism, which is the idea, what Stephen Hawking brought up, or said to brought up, is that, you can look it up online, go ahead and Google it, is that everything is determined. We're all in one reality. Well, there's no such thing as truth, because we're all in one reality. You can't verify actuality inside a physical construct. There's only, so there's no such thing as truth. It's just all conflicting chemicals, like a bunch of stardust, a bunch of protoplasm banging into each other. Philosophically, there's no such thing as truth in the evolutionary deterministic worldview. So And I can prove this in things of absolute knowledge. Unless you're going to be foolish and deny it. If I shoot you in the foot, I'm going to ask you, I'll ask you, are you certain? I say, that hurt? I say, are you certain that hurts? Come on. You guys know the something is knowledge. You live as such. I challenge any atheist to live like an atheist. I'll tell you somebody who lived like an atheist. He was a serial killer. And he got put in prison. You know who that guy is? You know who lived like an atheist? Somebody who was an atheist. I don't want to bring this up because one of you guys can actually do it because it knows your wickedness. Some of you guys. You know who's an atheist that actually lived according to his worldview? Jeffrey Dahmer. Yes, he believed in evolution. Go look at his testimony. He was an atheist and he lived accordingly. He thought, well, you know, we're basically just chemicals, so there's no such thing as right and wrong. So I'm allowed to do what I want. So that's somebody who was like an atheist. Now, I don't want to suggest any of you guys actually do that, but that's the last thing I want. But the thing is, you guys can't live like an atheist. There's not only one intellectual atheist that has the ideology, the thought processes, and the conduct aligned with an actually evolutionary deterministic worldview. But let me get to the more objections. The whole concept of slavery in the Bible. The atheist jumps all over that. They say, look, there was aggressive slavery, and I'll admit to you, I'll not be dishonest. I'll admit to you, yes, the Gentiles were aggressively enslaved, and not the Jews. Why? Because the Gentiles were heathen nations under judgment, and the Jews were said to be invited in God's promise, thus they were shown mercy and love, even though they were under binding servitude. They were under binding servitude. The Gentiles were under judgment. That's why it happened. It's one of the reasons I'll give you. The Gentiles were heathen nations under the wrath of God, and so they were treated with rigor. They were treated with aggression. Now, before you say, well, you're just trying to defend your God and make excuses. No, I'm defending logic. This is logic. If there is a God, let's go down. If there is a God, and he's actually a God, he defines what is right or wrong by his own nature. So whatever he does is good. If he says it's good, if his nature decrees it's good, and the robot doesn't say to the manufacturer, "Hey, you designed me wrong." That's it. Because the designer designs a robot to do what? To do according to how it has been designed. It is illogical to make a morality argument, especially from your standpoint, against a deity. Unless you want to be illogical and you be emotional and not be factual, go ahead. But if you're an atheist, I really suggest you don't make. Oh, this is my dog. I suggest that you don't make a morality argument. I said no. So nothing that contains some morality with the God of the Old Testament you make. Why? Not because I can't answer it. Because I've demonstrated to you I can't answer it. I've demonstrated in past videos I can answer it. And they're not dumb answers. So, I demonstrated I can answer it. I'm just pleading with your consistency that if you want to be logical, you don't use a morality argument, and it's illogical even to make one. Okay. Oh, no. So let's get back to it. So I'm pleading with logic and consistency. And if you want to know my age, I'm 19. I got out of high school last May. I'm still living here with my parents, so just so you know. But I'm pleading with your consistency. If you want to be logical and you want to be intellectual, you don't use these arguments. If I can answer the arguments, that's no problem. But the problem is that you even making them. It's not consistent with logic. If I was an atheist and really logical, I wouldn't make these arguments because they're illogical. But evidently you don't know philosophy, so you're making these arguments. So what else objection do I have to cover? So I heard today the host of the Atheist Experience blowing up that the flood never happened. That scientifically it never happened. It wasn't in outside cultures. He's absolutely wrong about that. The flood was recorded in the Epic of Gilgamesh and in Chinese culture, in other cultures around the world, in their terminology, as expected. So the flood has actually been recorded outside the Bible. And about the evidence, scientific evidence, demonstrable evidence for a global flood around the world, you either have an evolutionary perspective, which they insert by the worldview, where you can make a logical conclusion that the sedimental rock is proof of the flood, or proof of the Grand Canyon forming over time. So we got two perspectives, each one. But the overtime thing, as shown is illogical. And let me confront, because I'm not fully full Kid Hovind. I'm not in agreement with him doctrinally. But I want to make a statement. Any atheist that wants to appeal to logic, you don't use what's called an ad hominem. You don't attack the person. You attack the evidence. But the stuff he says that has been true, I guess the stuff that he said that has been wrong. But as far as I've seen him use information that was by other people. But the same thing when they use information that by other people that were incorrect. It was incorrect. But I don't really use a lot of. I would normally use a shy away from Kid Hovind material and go on the philosophical side. You guys can't really touch me on that. So, I haven't had an atheist week. I had one smart atheist, but I didn't really get an answer to a lot of the stuff that he thought. I was able to answer stuff, and we had a more interesting conversation, and it would have been more, and I could have done better, but I had to be quiet, so I couldn't answer it. So the fact, the idea that Exodus, the slaves, the Jews were slaves in Egypt, the idea that being incorrect, and he mentioned that, the host of the Atheist Experience, that is also historically incorrect as well. Scholars, by the evidence, historians and scholars has called the Exodus a historical fact, not a probability, but a fact. Now, because we got an outside biblical source, a stone with miracles that were in the book of Exodus, recorded on the stone. So, no. So he may claim that Exodus is wrong, like the slavery of the Israelites with the Israelites by the Egyptians. That's incorrect. He said that They say the impossibility incorrect that a global flood happened. That's also incorrect. So all these atheists, they make incorrect. They were attacking Holton for making misconceptions, but their ideology and attacks are full of misconceptions. So I suggest you back off unless you fix your sources. Now, if you want to attack Holton, you also appeal to your own logic and don't use a morality argument. And don't at least don't use a morality argument. You can't hold it one. I explain to you how and why. Go plus the playback and watch. So we covered some atheist objections. Flood wasn't global, and that Exodus is just a lie, not a lie. It's historically known as a fact. Now, if you want to know about that, you really how we found evidence for it. Go look it up. I'm gonna check the comments. Oh, quit. Yeah, I have a dog. If you watch my past videos, you'll see the dog. I got him before I saved, when I was like 14. Doesn't matter. Having a small dog doesn't matter. I'm gonna check the comments. And unless you can make a logical case for absolute morality, then if you guys can't, you gotta choose subjective morality. I'm sorry, but you are contending with Christianity like it's objective. When all the atheists say, "Oh, slavery is wrong," and we should all know that, they're pretending like that's an objective truth and not a subjective truth. Maybe if you want to be consistent, maybe I don't think, which logically owning a person according to the Old Testament symbology that symbology. The owner of the slave symbolized the maker. The person that was owned symbolized what's made. What's made doesn't tell the maker what to do or what's wrong. You understand that? Symbology. The Old Testament's full of symbology using literal events. How else do you expect it to give all this deep symbology? It could have used idioms, but did not. And you not want to tell God what to do. I'm pleading with logic. I'm not making excuses for my God like you atheists like to say. I'm being very logical. And unless you can answer me logically, then you have no room to speak. Oh no. So any atheist that wants to contend for your belief system and your worldview, you do have a belief system, you have a philosophy. Now, I have understanding, but I have an absolute truth, as in, I have absolute truth, you can't. But if any atheist wants to object to what I've said about biblical slavery, about morality, that you can't make a logical case of objection against God's morality, if you want to come on here and refute me, then you're welcome. I don't see there's any atheists in this thing. I have 2 views. So guys, a debate challenge is still open. You have to come on here and defend your morality, defend your evolutionary worldview on a philosophical level, not just a scientific level. You have to prove you can actually prove evolution. Prove you actually have the criteria in your worldview to prove something. Or is it just a high probability, not a fact? And if it is a high probability, which is having more sense in your worldview, then click on the fact. Let's say it's highly probable that we evolved. You believe that? I would say, unless some spiritual being gave power to the evolutionary process, no, it was impossible for us to evolve. It's mysticism, it's paganism, but you believe. Literally, go look it up. So I be blessed. I love you guys. If you're atheist, have a nice day. Blessed in the name of Jesus Christ, bro. The debate challenge is still open. Anybody that can come forward can come on here.